planning module, our energy production forecasting, throughout this implementation system. So what we have is basically a baseline ecosystem of what's found in Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O, connecting to Fabric and Azure. Basically, since Fabric lives in Azure, a lot of the Azure ecosystems themselves are beelining into Fabric. As Fabric is growing and becoming more adopted, we've decided to take Fabric as the approach as we want, instead of going with something like Azure Synapse or Data Factory. The Fabric elements that are integrated from those things are what we're using to build this model ecosystem, or to build the production forecasting model. The model itself uses the data coming from the Dynamics Finance and Operations system throughout the journals, as we just seen. Things like generation totals and things like pricing are used as like a historical baseline for these. Basically, the module is built out using Azure machine learning and Azure machine learning models. Within the Azure ecosystem there, they have their own machine learning like workbooks and stuff like that. And that's where most of the model, like I said, those features from earlier that we're using to predict future prices, you can create comparisons for that very simply with this model. You can do something like predicting the forward price versus generation based on quarter, based on different amounts of time, which I'll go over in a little bit deeper in the Power BI workspace itself. And this is kind of an example of what our optimal generation mix based on weather will look like for different models.